Hi all, this is the learning session. What the heck is Antifragile? I welcome you to this learning session. It is provided by the Friends of Antifragility and together with Sai from the Antifragility Institute. He's in the background. He's a little bit sick, so he cannot appear on the screen. He told me this before, so I hope he's getting better soon. Yeah, let's start. I don't see if there are any participants, so I just hope you are there. I will see when we come to the chat and comments. Okay, let's get going. I'll give you first an overview over the content. There will be, well, we are doing the welcome right now, and there will be some warm-up questions in the beginning to find into the topic. Then I will introduce this concept, this basic concept of fragile, robust, and anti-fragile. Say a few words about Nassim Taleb, who is the developer, the discoverer of this concept of antifragility. He published this book 10 years ago, Antifragile, Things That Gain from Disorder. Then we go a little bit deeper into mathematical concepts, but just very, very, very slightly. But it's just such a basic concept of concavity and convexity. It will help you a lot to differentiate between fragile and antifragile. Okay, then we come to the problem solutions that you can apply right away in your business or private life. Black Swan is the big threat, the big risk that is waiting every time, everywhere. You never know when it comes, but when it comes, you would like to be prepared. Yeah, like Corona or like the global financial crisis 13, 14 years ago, and such things. Then we will introduce the Barbell Strategy. It is a very useful strategy to organize your life in an efficient and effective way. Yeah, in the end, we will have some time for question and answers, and if possible, sharing some practical experiences with antifragility. And I will let you know, I will inform you about further opportunities, further offers and events from myself and from Sai, who is in the background with the technique. And the closing will be the 15 best quotes of Nassim Taleb. Okay, so let's start. Now I will see what who is there. Yeah, let me first ask me the first question. What country are you from? This is very interesting because I hope for international participation. So please use the chat and write the country you are coming from, please. Ah, hi Nicola, I see your comment. Thank you. Unfortunately, we cannot communicate. Any more participants? Anyway, we will do it. We will do it. We will go through it. And I was hoping for some participants because otherwise the interactive part is a little bit boring, yeah, if I have to answer my questions myself. But so far you seem to be the only one, or the other ones don't want to let us know. Okay, so then go to the next question. What was your first idea when you read Antifragile for the first time and have not been introduced to this concept before? Even though I know you are German speaking, we will continue in English because we are recording this. And yeah, so I would like the whole world to understand what I'm saying. Another participant, Mihat Tigali from Mauritius. Very, very welcome. I'm happy to see you here. Okay, so let me repeat. We are at the second question. What was your first idea when you first read Antifragile? Yeah, before knowing anything else about it. Just use the chat to write down a word, a term which came to your mind when you heard about or read about Antifragile for the first time. No idea or no no remembering. Dynamic comes to my mind. Okay, good. Mihat, any idea from you? There's no wrong, no right, no wrong. Yeah, so it's a broad concept, and there are different interpretations. Robust, yes, that is an idea that you can hear very often when asking this question. It is just considered to be close to the opposite of fragile. Of course, it is robust, stable. What else? Let's see what Taleb says to this. Okay, so let's continue because the schedule is quite tight. Let me know what are your expectations to these learning sessions. Resilience, yes, exactly. That is also the first idea you get. A fragile mind, yeah, and a resilient mind, or a company can be resilient. Any organization has a certain degree of resilience. Yeah, learning about these concepts, yeah, this is of course the goal, which I hope to fulfill. Yeah, I would say we will start. If you have some more ideas, just write it down along the presentations, no problem. And also in between, you can ask questions and give some ideas. Yeah, that is always good to have some interaction with you. Okay, so it will be. I will show you some videos, and they are. I select them because they can give you the basic ideas in a very well understandable way that I may not be able to give it in such a compact format as it is given here by the video. Okay, let's say this is. Let's try if this works. No. Oh, okay. Now I have to improvise. Cause this. Okay, let's increase it. No. It doesn't work. It seems not to work this video, so I have to try a little bit around what may work. So you have to help me a little bit. So I will try to get this running through my slides. And then I have to make sure that you can also see it. Okay. Okay, I will interrupt it because I would first like to know if you really can hear it. Can you please give me feedback if you started seeing when I played this video, or did you see and hear anything at all? No sound. Just the picture. Okay. Yeah, so this is good. Then I can explain it in my words. Thanks a lot, Nicola. Sorry for that. We didn't try it out, unfortunately. So you think about a box, it says fragile. And now what is the would be a glass breaks easily. And this was also your answer. The opposite, anti-fragile, could be robust, or the first idea of most robust. So it could be just a harder piece of glass or a piece of metal. Actually, the opposite of fragile is anti-fragile. What can you think about anti-fragile? Well, you think not about an even harder glass. You can think about a diamond. And when you practice anti-fragility, this diamond gets bigger and stronger. So there is the story that the students want to go out on the weekends, but they're not allowed to have a car in a closed dormitory. So they would from the older classes. However, they were quite afraid that they reject their request. Yeah, so the other students said, no use. You need not ask. You will get just you. they, they just make fun of you. Yeah. But he didn't go with this answer, and he said, no, I'm trying anyway. Yeah. So he kept trying for the whole night and not what, but the longer he tried, he didn't care about it. And then always after a lot of tries, he got this car. Yeah. And then he was also noticing his mind became stronger. He didn't care about criticism and bad words that he heard about. So how is this how this can be used? Is this kind of a method that goes for such answers? No, it is practicing your mind to become more anti-fragile. When you go to the gym and you practice muscle, want to build up your muscle, you lift heavy weight many times, yeah, until you really feel uncomfortable. But to stop this, no, you will not stop it. You will go until the muscles fail, and then they will become stronger. It's just mind. Yeah. Difficult situations, pick up problems, and you always keep trying to reach your goal. You also practice mind the same way as you practice Yeah, you should crave for problems. You should crave for difficult, and this makes you stronger and stronger, not only with your muscles, but also in your mind. So there was this guy who started his own blog, uh, learning by try and error. So in the beginning, he can get a lot of bad feedback, and it's no use and boring and stuff like this. Yeah. So he utilized feedback and improved his blog more and more. And this is also another example to become anti-fragile. Okay, so let's go back to the presentation. Okay, so can you please just give me some feedback how this went? Sorry, it's I have to go by try and error right now myself. Yeah, the anti-fragile way. I read nothing. What do you mean? You didn't see and hear anything? Can you just explain a little bit? If this doesn't work, I think we really have to, unfortunately, have to stop it. I'm really sorry about that. Um, Nicola says fine. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. Mehat, maybe did you really get you really get nothing? You didn't hear and didn't see anything. This is okay. Yeah. Okay. At least Nicola sees something. Hears and sees something. Then I would just go on and yeah. See later. I will see it in the video recording. What is the result? And then do it better the next time. Okay, so this is the basic concept. You have fragile, you have robust, you have anti-fragile. Fragile things are like yeah, glasses, which was already in this video. Yeah, if you throw it on the floor, it breaks. You have robust things like a sword. Yeah, you can really do hard things with it, and anti-fragile things. Yeah, you have a DNA here, the the the, the information of life. Yeah, and this and life is always improving. So any living things are anti-fragile. Yeah, when you consider evolution, life on Earth is improving with every new species. Yeah, and also what I have the example with building up your muscles or practicing training your mind to to uh, to to tackle difficult situations. Yeah, this is all the same thing. Yeah, if you get into problems, if you load something, if you stress something, living beings, living organisms, also organizations consisting of individuals will become stronger because nobody would like to stay long in a problem, in a difficult situation. So life will do something that life becomes enjoyable and easy again. This is the basic concept of anti-fragility. Yeah, training your muscles, the muscles will break a little bit when you practice them very hard, going to the limit or a little bit above the limit. This is the basic concept. You go just to the limit and a little bit above it, not too strong, of course, not too hard that you won't break your complete muscle. Yeah, you just want to have small breaks in the muscle fibers. And then when you take a good rest for some days or maybe a week, yeah, then the muscle will build up these breaks much stronger than before, and this will then make the muscle stronger altogether. And when this has healed all, then you can go to the next round and then load up a little bit heavier weight until it breaks again. Yeah, it is very important to take rest, that the rest is long enough. Yeah, and then this wonder will happen that nature builds up your muscles stronger than it was before. And this is the fastest way, and it is also a healthy way to build up any muscle that you have. Load it a little bit above the upper limit, yeah, so that you really feel pain, feel uncomfortable, yeah, but you know yourself when it's really too much, yeah. But doing this is natural way, because yeah, in the Stone Age or something like, in sometimes like this, yeah, there have been attacks from a wild animal, something like this, yeah. So the people just survived, yeah. But if they survived, they became much stronger, and then the next bigger animal, they can also defend themselves. Yeah, this is the concept of nature, and this is all stored in your DNA. Yeah, so you have this for free already. You just have to utilize it. Yeah, this is the goal of this training, of this learning session, that you understand this concept and then utilize it in your everyday life or business life, whatever. Yeah, so this is a funny, uh, um, let's say, funny picture. When you have fragile things, you write fragile on it. Please handle with care. And if you have an anti-fragile in your box, yeah, um, there's another problem, yeah, that not the whole content of the picture is shown sometimes. But I wrote here, please mishandle. Yeah. So if you have an anti-fragile thing, yeah, you should, yeah, stress it, mishandle it. Yeah. Don't take it too literally, but it's just a little bit funny, so that you get the basic concept. Yeah, this is an example of a very robust thing, but is it really sustainably robust? Because yeah, there are more modern weapons, and this castle is no longer robust against, let's say, an atomic bomb. Okay, maybe not that many things are, but if there are really like a gun or something like this, yeah, or some these small helicopters, yeah, that transports the bomb into the castle, it will be fragile as well. Yeah. So you need further development. Yeah. So today you have a bunker, yeah, beneath the earth, or you have an effective anti-missile system. Yeah. So this is the technology development, and technology is also anti-fragile, because it always is developed according to the demand and also according to failure modes, and yeah, more um, um, functionality and so on, that it can do its task. Yeah, so this is another example where you can really see robust is not anti-fragile. Robust is just stays at the same state, and this is not enough to survive in in our world, in life. Yeah, and okay, this is the also another opposite, a typical example of fragile. When you lie down in bed or just watch TV the whole day or play video games, yeah, you will become more and more fragile, because nature reduces whatever is not used. Use it or lose it. Yeah, this is a known saying. Yeah, which is also explains the opposite of anti-fragile. Yeah, use it hard. Yeah, and then build it up. Also debt, yeah, you should not take up too much debt. Yeah, now the interest rates is rising again. Yeah, as long it was zero or even below zero, yeah, you could get the idea. Well, it's good to take a lot of debt. However, it could be increased, and it could be increased really hard, as we notice now. Not in Europe, not yet in Europe, but in America, interest rates were increased quite a lot. And if you have too much debt, okay, you will blow up, or you will get into really unsolvable problems, which is beyond your much too much beyond your limit, that you may go bankrupt. So this is also fragile, too much debt. Okay, so let's continue with the next exercise. Um, Let me know what. Okay, this is also not. I animated this. Seems not to work as well. Das Video springt bei mir die ganze Zeit. Okay, I think there seem to be some more problems because I didn't show the video but maybe it was playing in the background. I'm not so sure what was going on right now. Hmm. Das video. Okay, it seems there is something wrong with the video because I didn't show the video, or was that still from the first time I showed the video? Mhm. Yeah, actually I didn't show the. Let me check what went on. Yeah, Nicola, I'm didn't didn't quite get it. Now, okay. Uh-huh. Hmm. Hmm. What can we do? Let's see what's going on with the video because actually the video is not running. Yeah, so I just wonder, aber geht wieder, muss was bei LinkedIn gewesen sein. Okay, so yeah, okay, now I would like to continue with the next exercise. That you let me know first some fragile examples that you have seen in your private and business world. Yeah, so the animation is also not working so a lot of experiences. So could you just write down in the chat some words which you would consider fragile? And yeah, and then we go through the other ones, robust and antifragile. But first, give me your understanding what you consider fragile in your life or in your business world, wherever you find fragile examples that you would consider fragile. And I will comment them. Well, if a person reacts very quickly, hmm, this is interesting. You would consider this as fragile? Well, I mean, this is I would say a personality. Somebody thinks first and then may never come up with an answer. Somebody speaks his soul and gives a lot of insight into his, yeah, into his way of his thinking. I tend to consider this rather anti-fragile because it might stress the others if somebody is reacting too hard, overreacting, and then the other one has to cope with that and may find, well, new things. This is always it's also helping with innovation. Hmm. Yeah. This I would also consider fragile if you don't if you lose the motivation too soon, and well, keep trying new things, new relationships, and really not get ahead. Yeah, so I think it's more anti-fragile if you stay in a relationship and then try hard for long for quite some time, and most of the time you will find the way how to cope with somebody else. Yeah? You have to do it in business. Yeah, if you cannot cope with your colleagues, you would have quite a hard time in business, because you have to work with colleagues which somebody else selected and employed, and so the better and anti-fragile way, I would say, is to keep trying and to keep yeah, discussing and agreeing with another one, and this way both of you will learn, or more members of the team. Yeah, the most creative and high performance teams, they consist of very different personalities and characters, and it is the best if it's just at the limit that they don't blow up. Yeah, if they can always just manage to stay together. Yeah, and then they will benefit from a lot of diversity. Yeah, this is the concept of diversity that is also an anti-fragile concept. It is hard, it is difficult to work and live and stay in a very diverse situation or environment. However, this is makes you stronger. Yeah, if you can survive it. Yeah, if not, okay, then it's over. Okay, so the next question would be, of course, some examples. Yes, for robust, starre Prozesse. Yeah, of course, this is robust for some time. Yeah. However, if there are new challenges, the market is changing. Yeah, the whole thing will become fragile. Yeah, it is no use anymore, and processes need to be adaptive, not too dynamic, but also not too static. Yeah, so there may be an optimum. Yeah, as we have learned also in training your muscles, there is an optimum overload of your muscles, and this will make them stronger. If you don't load it enough, yeah, it will not get stronger. If you overload it, okay, then the whole muscle will break, and that's the end of it. Yeah, this is also not good. Yeah. Okay, so let's continue with the real interesting things. What would you consider anti-fragile in your known world? Any idea from the from the improvised video commented video session? Is no right and no wrong. Yeah, it's always, as you have noticed already. Yeah, it is more fragile or less fragile, more anti-fragile, less anti-fragile. In between, there is robust, and it's a large room for interpretation, and there is also a cascade of fragile and anti-fragile things. Fragile anti-fragile things could be fragile in a different let's say system. Yeah, and nature also has a cascade of fragility and anti-fragility. This is because things have to break. Yeah, otherwise other things will not become stronger and develop further. Yeah, and if anti-fragile will always be dynamic. Exactly. Yeah, resilient, we learned already, that is just in the middle, that is neutral, that is robust, that is no change. However, there is also the concept of resilience 2.0 or super resilience. Yeah, this is also another expression for anti-fragility. Yeah, because resilient is quite close to it. Yeah, when an organization or a person, an individual gets into a difficult situation and he comes back to the to a stable condition, usually he already became better. Yeah, because he survived a harder stress and environment, and if he already builds up enough mental power to come back to a situation where he thinks it is the old situation, usually he has improved already, and he already has made the first step into anti-fragility, I would say, from how I understand it. Okay, any other um, situation or thing that you might have encountered which you would consider anti-fragile? Okay, so I would say we continue because the time may run out. Yeah, a basic learning that Nassim Taleb is a humanist. He tries to help people. He has earned enough money with trading options, yeah, where he already developed anti-fragile trading strategies. So he is doing all these things to help us, to help humanity, to help our planet to become a better place. Yeah. So his experiences are very valuable, and one of the things he observes that people give up too early. Yeah. So they don't give themselves the chance to discover new ways, to discover their chance that they have. Yeah. So they miss this chance and they may get into misery uh, uh, much sooner and much harder than they have to. Ja, Entwicklungsfähigkeit, ability to develop, to endure stress, to endure friction. Yeah, this is all anti-fragile. Exactly. Okay, so Nassim Taleb, a few words about him. As I said, he is a generalist. He was born in the Lebanon, yeah, which is also an interesting region on Earth. Yeah, he has experienced a lot of stress already in this region. It is torn by wars and by political gains and all these things, and he really was prepared well for life, being brought up in this region of our planet. Okay, he is now living for a long time in the US. He is an essayist, he is a philosopher. He studied mathematics, especially focused and specialized in statistics. So now he is a risk analyst or a risk engineer. He is helping companies and organizations, governments to manage their risks. He was an option trader until I think 2000, and he developed a very interesting option trading strategy where he gains a lot when there is a crisis, yeah, like the global financial crisis 2008, or now in Corona. With his strategy, he usually makes about at least some hundred, but mostly thousands of percent gains, profits. However, this strategy also loses 100% every other year. Yeah, so it's a very extreme strategy, a very anti-fragile strategies, because becoming anti-fragile, you have to pay something for it, of course. Anti-fragility doesn't come for free. Yeah, you have to practice yourself. You have to invest in building up something before a crisis comes, before the stress comes. Yeah. So this is very well made obvious with his trading strategy, which wealthy people can invest. I think there's a minimum investment of 10 million. But there are similar strategies that I am very familiar with, and these strategies always have less profit when there is a regular, the normal times. There are stocks going up, and then these anti-fragile strategies will either go down or just stay the same. Yeah, but when there is a crisis coming, stocks they crash down, but anti-fragile strategies like this option strategy, it just shoots up. Yeah, and then you can sell this and then invest with the gains. You can invest it in the stocks at a very low price. Yeah, and this will also make for a smooth development of your portfolio, and this is also applicable in everyday life. Yeah, that you balance crisis with an anti-fragile mindset and preparedness, and then you can have a much more efficient and effective life. He has written 8 books on randomness, probability, uncertainty, and yeah, about current mainstream, how much current mainstream is destabilizing, fragilizing our world. Mainstream is always going for the more comfortable, more easy. Yeah, and this is of course not the way life is working. Life needs challenge. Yeah, there is also a comics. He is there's a peer review of a new book, I think, and the other professor says that he is criticizing, Taleb is criticizing some wrongdoing in the world, but he doesn't offer any alternatives. So then Taleb answers, of course, he offers a lot of alternatives. No, says the reviewer, there is nothing among these alternatives which enhances his academic career. So this is one of his very well-known criticisms of science overall. Yeah, he calls himself an anti-scientist. Yeah, because science he considers just as another career path. Yeah, most of the scientists they care more about their career than increasing the knowledge of the world. Yeah, and he is just opposite. There's also some quote that I read that he is only publishing a new book when it really makes a huge difference to the world. Yeah, so he will not just collect and read 10 papers and 10 books and then make the 11th out of it. Yeah, this is something typical for Taleb. Okay, now let's do another try with a commented video. Um, the next concept, which is very important, is naive interventionism, or the Anglo-Saxons they say be a favor, and it's you can also say you mean it well, but you just do it opposite. Yeah, you fragilize things, and this is a very interesting concept. So now I have to try this again, switching to my PowerPoint and call this video from there. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So the question is, was soccer moms and his youth and business have they fragilize things. Children usually complain about their touch. Yeah. So this is complaining about fragilizing them. So it's a very good feedback to their mothers. But yes, I also know mothers this feedback and just keep overprotecting their children. But this fragilizes. Yeah, and also in hospitals and also in household, too much antiseptics is used. Yeah, keep germs. So what will happen? Immune system is not given enough work. Yeah, it develops allergies, out disease. So you can see, yeah, this using too much antiseptics is fragilizing ourselves, yeah, which is not a good thing. Okay, then politicians and you have economists into the development of the economy, of the financial system. You know this, the central banks are printing tons of money, billions of money each, yeah. And now this is over. The inflation rate is shooting up, and yeah, they try to increase the interest rates, but so far they didn't have success. Inflation rate stays high, yeah, and makes things more expensive. And this is also a typical example. They interfered too much with the, let's say, natural development of the economy. And if they if they printed less money, of course, there would be a little bit more trouble all the time. Yeah, companies would go bankrupt, and but this is good, yeah, because not all companies are healthy to survive. Yeah, so why not let them go bankrupt? Even countries, yeah, if they didn't manage their country well, they should also feel the consequences of that. Yeah, and also the, let's say, other countries, there may be some fallout, but this will make them learning, yeah, learning better ways to prevent such problems in a more natural way by keeping up the stress, a certain amount of stress, which can be handled all the time. Of course, it will be more uncomfortable, but it will it will provide for a dynamic stability. Yeah, there's always some volatility in the market, in the economy. Yeah, things you have to worry about, but always keeps you alert and trying to keep up with better solutions and develop them in an evolutionary way. But this way, you can avoid catastrophic crises or also wars, yeah, like the Ukraine war. Yeah, before the war started, people didn't care much what the consequences of their well, what they did, yeah, which they try to benefit most of it. We built this pipeline from Germany to Russia, Nord Stream 1 and 2, yeah, to get cheap gas from Russia. But maybe this was a tactics from Russia, yeah, to spoil Western European countries with cheap gas, and then they can control them. Yeah, so this is obviously anti-fragile. Yeah, anti-fragile would be the way to save energy, to get different sources of energy, and this way you stay more anti-fragile. Okay, so let's go back to the presentation. Yeah, so a few more examples. Lying down, as I said already, in bed makes you fragilizes yourself. Or also our whole health system is very fragile because what is paid for, what if doctors get a lot of sick patients, they earn good money. However, this is fragilizing the health system because it more or less supports sickness, disease, and a way of living, yeah, that you don't take care of your health. In the old times, I learned in China, there was a really anti-fragile health system. Doctors were paid a certain budget and he can spend it whatever he likes to. Yeah, he can wait until the patients come, until they are sick, and then heal them. Or he could also spend it on preventive measures. He could educate his patients or his people that he has to take care of. And this was, of course, the smarter way because prevention is much cheaper than healing, paying expensive drugs and medicine and maybe doing some operations, cancer, whatever. Yeah, and so the smart thing was that doctors tried to do everything to prevent disease and sick patients. This way, they could keep much more of the budget. Then they have to pay it on healing their patients. Yeah. So it's obvious the health system right now is fragile because it tends to increase the number of patients, the fragility of immune systems, yeah, and increase the cost more and more until it is no longer paid. And then there is a much worse situation to bring this back into an antifragile state. Yeah, and you know, all chronic diseases are increasing in our modern civilization due to this overuse of antiseptics. Also, if there is a small disease, a small cold, you give antibiotics, and this makes you healthy. This cures your disease very quickly in the short term. However, in the long term, it increases the chances of chronic diseases. Yeah, and they cannot be healed anymore. Yeah, so you increase the problem due to a short-term advantage. Short-term advantages are always fragilizing, wherever they are applied. You better go the hard way, and then you have long-term benefit from it. Okay, so you can also differentiate between people. Yeah, Taleb calls them fragilista. They hate disorder, short-term disorder, and seek stability in the short term. But this will create much larger disorder in the long term. Catastrophes, crises, wars, and so on. The antifragilista, he seeks stability by embracing challenges, randomness, disorder in the short term, to always have something to do to improve these small stress in the short term, but solve it in a sustainable way to to have the long-term benefits of it. Okay, so now I would like to ask the next question. If you consider your current world again, in private or in business, where would you say you have such fragilizing situations, fragilizing people, fragilizing whatever rules, processes, and so on? Yeah, just to get some deeper understanding where you have to watch, which you should improve to become more anti-fragile. Can you give me a few examples of how fragility is increased in our current world, in your current world and situation in private and in business? Just think about your everyday work in the office or maybe home office. Achtsamkeitskonzepte, translated in English, self-awareness. You think self-awareness is an example for fragilizing? I'm not so sure about that, because if you want to act in an anti-fragile way, you need a lot of information from yourself and also from other people, your environment, to find the right anti-fragile concepts. So it depends what you make out of it, of course. If you let's say um, um, maybe dig too hard and deep and complain about every small stress and so on, yeah, maybe that may be fragilizing yourself, because you may become too weak and complaining about uh, things that are really not no need to be taken care of. But usually, when you want to find out how to improve things in a sustainable way, you have to know much more about yourself how your feelings will be influenced, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are these things with other people in your team, in your family, and then you can find ways which really make the team stronger, which make really yourself stronger. Yeah, so it's a kind of rules how we have to talk to each other and so on. Well, yes, if everything is prescribed, yeah, and you are not allowed to talk about, well, problems, yeah, this is quite, you can see this quite often in the business world. Your boss wants to hear nice things, wants to hear about progress. But I also heard this from former former bosses. Don't tell me about the problem. That's your task. You have to solve the problem, yeah, and would like to amuse himself. So, but if you cannot, if the associate cannot solve the problem himself, of course he should tell it to somebody else, to his colleagues, or to his boss, yeah, because he most probably has different ideas how to solve the problem, which is cannot be solved by just one individual. Yeah, so this is absolutely a fragile thing, yeah, which is fragilizing teamwork if there is no open discussion. Yeah, even though it is uncomfortable sometimes, yeah, it gives the team the chance to really improve if it knows what's going on, what are the hidden problems. The other thing, fragilizing are hidden again agendas and so on, and controlling have a corporate wording and so on. This is of course often used in marketing, advertisements. Yeah, you have to watch everything you have to say. Yeah, okay, this is a but this is also true. Yeah, if you go just by the commercial world, by advertisement, marketing speak, yeah, this is absolutely true that this is fragilizing our world. I would also consider the trend to make everything as usable and as comfortable as possible. Yeah, this also increases the tendency, yeah, that you try everything to make your life as comfortable as possible. Of course, there is a lot of request and demand for it, and there is the money for it. Yeah, so in a way, our whole economic system seems to go into a fragile direction. Yeah, fragilizing ourselves. However, technology itself is, yeah, I said this is anti-fragile because it is improving up to the demand. And also, like, let's say, if you consider airplanes, if there is an accident, yeah, the accident is analyzed until the cause is found out, and then this aircraft is improved. The development, the structure of the aircraft and the systems in it is improved until this accident will never happen again. Yeah. So this is our world. Yeah. There are many fragilizing things, but also anti-fragile things, and an anti-fragile thing in one situation may be fragilizing in another situation. Yeah, of course, when the company has good ideas how to um, have better products that make life more comfortable for other people. Yeah, they will fragilize the life of other people, of their clients. But of course, they may become anti-fragile themselves, earn more money because they are more creative. It is not easy. Yeah? That's why you have to think about it a lot of time, practice this concept, and then you slowly you will gradually you find out the right way to apply it for yourself. Okay, let's go on. 1 hour is already over. Okay, now dig into the concept, dig deeper into the concept of the mathematical concept of antifragility. And two of the most important things are concavity and convexity. Okay, so let's go to this video thing again. Okay, we are starting. the fragile, and fragile is related to concavity. You can imagine a car which has a careless driver, yeah, and he's bumping into walls below speed, and the car will be hit on the body, yeah, but it is small pieces. Yeah, you have maybe 20 such uh, spots in your body, but it is not really a problem. Yeah, it's no big risk. But if you go 20 times 5 kilometers is is equal to 100 kilometers an hour, but of course your car will be broken. It will be destroyed, and you yourself also will be dead probably. But this is the thing of concavity. Yeah, if you go 20 times with low speed, yeah, to the left, the low velocity, yeah, it will a little bit cause a little bit problem, and you learn from it. Yeah. But if you go 20 times 5 kilometers an hour, yeah, you will go to will go dead. Antifragile things have the convex relationship. When you increase the intensity, you have exponentially more benefits from it. Let's give you an example. When you with kilogram weight for, for making you stronger, you really will gain strength. But about 10 times, 10 weight, nothing. So this explains this convex relationship in anti-fragile things and anti-fragile situations. Then there's another example of a uh, comes at the last minute to the flight, but his mother always keeps going 1 hour early. So the son always doing missed the plane. Yeah? He wanted to go from Sweden to the Czech Republic, and so he came 5 minutes late. So it's gone. Yeah, he has to take the bus for I don't know 1 or 2 days instead of 1 or 2 hours, and so he made that he did it in the fragile way. Yeah, it works for a long time, but he just went a little bit too, and then he has a big trouble. So this is another quantitative function dependency. Okay, now come to the example. Yeah, startups they fail very often and cost a little bit. They don't waste that much money, and only a very few of they may survive after a long time. Five paying a little bit, but the survival startups they then the 90 lost in a small amount. The startups which survive and then can scale up. The scale up it has an unlimited upside, and so this is also another example for anti-fragile situation and system. Yeah, you pay a small amount, you lose this amount, building up something new. You fail often, but you fail fast and you fail small, losing a little bit money. And then when you endure it, when you last long enough, when you persist long enough, then you will have a much bigger benefit from it. Yeah, it also goes into the direction of Nassim Taleb's option strategy. He loses a little bit money for years, maybe for 10 years. Yeah, and then there comes the situation which it is developed for. Yeah, and he has maybe 100 and 1,000 times more benefits than he lost the money before. Okay, let's go back. Green. Okay, there it is. Oh, the video is not working. Yeah, sorry for that. Yeah, I hope you get some information from my from my talking. But here we will have more examples on this concept. Um, yeah, it is more or less something to remember. The convex situation is the smiling face, and yeah, it is a hard thing all the time, but in the end, you will have a big benefit. This is convex. It is anti-fragile. Concave is fragile. It is a losing situation. Yeah, you will have small advantage all the time. Yeah, when you get maybe when you become healthy again after a small disease. Yeah, taking antibiotics. Yeah, you make your life easy, but in the end, you have much more difficult problem, and you have chronic disease, something like this. And okay, there is also the examples of the glass, yeah, and the glass when it falls down, yeah, it becomes it is obviously it is fragile and breaks. Yeah. Okay, so but this gives you a very good measure into your hands how to detect a situation that is anti-fragile and a situation that is fragile. Ask yourself of symmetry and asymmetry. Yeah, anything that has more upside in the long term is anti-fragile. But something that has more downside, if there are several more situations, like bumping a car into something, it will you will survive and the car will be okay if you bump it often enough often with a small speed. However, when there is a situation where the car has a high speed, it will it will go it will break everything. Yeah. But however, the situation of startups, but investing into innovation, that is anti-fragile. You invest many times a small amount and find out it is not working, but after often tries, then you will find the right idea, which will bring you a high benefit. Okay, so now let's do some more anti-fragile trials. Because now there are two videos about anti-fragile solutions, which are actually solutions to the Black Swan problem. Yeah, just remember a Black Swan problem. It is an unforeseen situation like Corona, but also digitalization coming to the world, causing a lot of problems in the world, and there are anti-fragile methodology solutions which will be shown in the next video. Now, if you don't see it, I will try to explain it, what I see, and hope you will have your benefit. I'm also very proud of you that you have a lot of persistence to go through this anti-fragile exercise with me. Yeah, it is really anti-fragile, I can tell you. I have not prepared this, but keep trying. Okay, okay. I told you already about the Black Swan. It is a typical event that has on you, on the society, on the whole world. I'm not just why is it called Black Swan? Because white swans are just what you see every day. Yeah, and some 100 years ago, nobody was thinking about black swans. But then I think black swans were discovered on the opposite, on the other side of Earth. I think in New Zealand or Australia or something like there. Yeah, they really have black swans. Yeah, so when they discover it, nobody expected to ever find black swans. Yeah, so such unexpected events like big crises, wars, and so on, they are called black swan events. Oh no, my video is jumping. Sorry for that. Okay, there is the example of checking the passengers when before they board the plane. Yeah. So this is of course costing something. Yeah, and the passengers have to pay more for the flights to pay also for this checking before they enter the plane. However, this small extra cost prevents, yeah, blowing up of crashing the plane when there is a bomb, yeah, smuggled into the plane, and yeah, all will be dead and big in the big plane crash. So this is an example to make things robust. The plane will not improve, or something like this, but it will prevent the big accident, the plane crash. Yeah, so this is making a fragile situation. Yeah, that every once in a while some terrorist is going onto the plane carrying a bomb with him, and this is prevented by making the whole thing more robust. So one of the anti-fragile of the robust concepts is redundant. Yeah, nature uh, makes us more redundant. We have two arms. We have two halves. We have two legs. We have two ears. We have two eyes. Yeah, if one of them takes off, it becomes, yeah, we can still survive it. So redundancy is also making things more robust. So there's another example from investment. You probably know Warren Buffett, who is one of the richest people in the world. He has, yeah, let's say a robust, I would even say anti-fragile strategy, because he only invests into companies which has a margin of safety. Yeah, he calls it margin of safety because these enterprises are usually cheaper than their book value. Yeah, of course, you don't find these companies very often. However, this company has the advantage. When this company fails, when it goes bankrupt, Warren Buffett can still sell all the stuff that the company owns. Yeah, maybe the computers, the buildings, the land, whatever the company owns, he can still get his investment back. However, if the company stays in business and keeps producing profits, so he gains more than he pays for it. Yeah, so this is already going into the anti-fragile direction. Yeah, that with this approach, he can really gain more than he has the risk. Yeah, another robust and already going into the anti-fragile direction concept is that a system is tolerant of small errors, but in a way that it detects the small errors and then works on solutions that they don't show up again. Yeah, you may also know the concept of chaos monkey. Yeah, when you develop a large software system, yeah, you may invite hackers, yeah, which try to interfere with this software. Yeah, and this way, the developers they learn how the system can be, yeah, made broken, can be stressed, can be disturbed, and then they work out solutions how to make it fail safe. Yeah, and the best way is to try to interrupt it, to destroy it. Or maybe in the business world, yeah, you should have an open culture, as we discussed already, and this was one of your answers, that the employees will be open, talk about their problems, about their stress, which need not be, and may motivate other people to solve it or solve it together with the associates who have the problem. And in this way, the company, their processes, and so on, they will become stronger and stronger and react to the stress of the environment. Also, evolution, as we talked about it, the evolution, anti-fragile. You can look at the uh, monkeys, yeah, and what the the, the theory goes, or the scientists found out that our forefathers, they are more like monkeys, uh, which we became humans, and yeah, at least our mind is more capable. If you put it into good use, is another question. Okay, but going into an anti-fragile direction, I would say we at least we try, and so, you could consider this in anti-fragile development. Yeah, you have small probes, you have one cell, two cell, multiple cell organisms, and they develop further and further. Yeah, so this always comes from stress in the environment. Yeah, one population is more or less reaching the point of overpopulation, and then something has to change. Otherwise, the whole system will just go go dead. Yeah, it will just die altogether. Yeah, and then new forms of life develop. Yeah, which are higher developed than the one before. So then the last concept of anti-fragile solution is the barbell strategy. The barbell strategy always combines two approaches. It combines a stable approach. Yeah, for example, you have a stable job in a big company. However, there is not much innovation. Yeah, so maybe one day the company will go out of business because it is not innovative enough. And at the same time, you maybe have some challenging hobbies. Yeah, I can say about myself. I'm interested in finance, and I try out a lot of investment strategies. Yeah, and now some years ago, I figured out. I came up to the point to understand Nassim Taleb's option strategies, how to gain in crisis. Yeah, and now I developed a product. I offer this on the market to help investors to become also anti-fragile when the next crisis is coming. Yeah, I will provide this strategy, which on the one hand side invest into stocks. Yeah, this is more or less the one side of the barbell strategy, and I invest into options, futures and options strategies, trading strategies, which are optimized for profiting, for gaining from crisis periods. Yeah, like in Corona, and also this year, yeah, crisis comes back into the world, and my overall strategy gained until September. It gained 7%. Last year, stocks go up quite a lot. It didn't make the whole profit of stocks, but it also made 10%. So this year, after 9 months, it gained 7%. So it's not guaranteed it will make 10% at the end of this year, but it is also, yeah, it could go this direction. So this was my goal, to make for a very stable development of profits. Yeah, and this goes by combining a fragile investment, this is stocks, and an anti-fragile investment, that is these option and futures trading strategies, which gain a lot in crisis. Yeah, so this is always a very good way to find out opposite things which are useful at one time and another time. Yeah, you can also, you know it from diversification. Um, Good companies, they diversify their product portfolio to have something for every time. Yeah, of course, the challenge is to have something in the bad times, in the crisis times. But these times are always good for change, for transformation. Yeah. So in the last crisis, in the Corona crisis, digital companies, software companies, they make a lot of profit. Yeah. So they also have an anti-fragile approach to their business. Yeah. Maybe before nobody needed such software products, yeah, like video conferencing. Yeah. But we are also glad and we utilize it now, that these software companies invested in it, even though they didn't need it that much or didn't make that much profit. But now in these crisis times, it is so valuable that they make the profits of their lifetime. Maybe they don't have to work anymore because they gain so much in this time because they go this anti-fragile way. Okay, so this is concluding the approaches, the methodology that I wanted to show you. And now I have planned for some time. Yeah, we'll still have 10 minutes for some more question and answers from you. Let me first go back to the to our session. Okay, there it is. Okay, so now please take the opportunity to ask me your questions that you have about this anti-fragile concept. I'm really sorry that you could not benefit that much, but I learned a lot. You bet that next time I will have to, yeah, try this out before and improve it until it works everything. Yeah, what are your questions? Maybe also experiences. With I can tell you maybe some experience that I did. Um, as I told you, I started this sideline business, investment strategies, and almost 2 years ago, just a few months before we started, we also wanted to have a website, and we prepared this website. And then I found that something was written on the website that, well, was not. There is a meetup soon. What uh, what do you mean? A meetup event? You suggest that we would like to have a meetup event on this topic? I'm not sure. Maybe we can talk to each other later. Okay, so there was a critical situation because something on the website was written that I think should not be written there. Yeah, some errors, something like this. And then I told my team member, well, quite openly and directly that I don't like what he wrote there. We cannot go live with this. Yeah, probably I was a little bit angry. Yeah, because I thought it was clear. Yeah, what. Yeah, because it was an advertisement website. Yeah, there is not so much openness like we are maybe in the teamwork. Yeah, but you have to differentiate between this. But my tone was a little bit too harsh and too hard. So he just yeah, he told me he doesn't want to work with me anymore, and he want to quit our team, and everybody got panicked, yeah, because it was just a small team, and we needed everybody, and so then after 1, 2, 3 days, think a little bit about it. We everybody tried to find some better way how to handle such situations, or maybe how to restructure our whole setup. Yeah. So then after some weeks discussing, thinking about this, altogether, we found a much better solution to this problem. Yeah, because the problem was a blog part in our website. Yeah, and one of my team members was responsible for this blog part, And I was not, I didn't agree what he wrote there. And then the idea came up that we separate the whole thing, that we make an extra block. Actually, this team member, he has his own block. So we just agreed that he can take all the new knowledge, the know-how that we developed, and can publish it and post it on his own blog. And he can do it in his own way, however he likes to do it. But the website then could be better controlled for the content. Yeah, because then there was no reason for quarreling with anybody. Yeah, what should be put on the website and what should not be put on the website. Yeah, and this solved the problem in an anti-fragile way. Yeah, because I got angry and I just told my anger to the team. Yeah, the team got angry, and because the team uh, went to the risk to blow up, of course, they all liked the work and they all wanted to continue the work. And then all thought hard to find a better solution. Yeah? And this better solution was appeared then some weeks later. And well, it's the whole team was very happy and relieved that we find the solution. And we are still working together. Yeah, and then we hope that the business is scaling up soon. Yeah, we are working this now in the last step to preparing the scaling up phase. Right now, we have individual clients, yeah, whom we consult and support directly. However, we are trying to launch an investment fund, and there some ways are appearing, yeah, building on all these experiences, on these hard experiences that we gained since mid of 2019. We launched our business. We founded our startup, and since that time, we built up so much knowledge the hard way that we may have the chance to go into launching a fund. And launching a fund means, yeah, that it is multiplied much more. It goes into all the platforms and advertisement campaigns, which we could not do it ourselves. And then yeah, the the startup effect, yeah, that's anti-fragile startup effect. You pay a lot for many years, and then if you are lucky, yeah, there is still some luck is needed, of course, as with any startup, but also keep up your hard work, and then it may come the benefit in a very big way. Okay, any questions about the content and anything else you would like to say about it? I have still some last thing I want to give you on the way. Yeah, this was organized. This was provided by the Friends of Antifragility. I have this company profile on LinkedIn. You can find it, and the slides will be available later. There are the links behind. My investment product is called Democratic Alpha. Yeah, of course, these trading strategies are called, they are benefiting from unusual situations in the market. And this is usually called by the term alpha. And we want to democratize this. Now we want small investors to benefit from our know-how that we build up, also with the help of Nassim Taleb. Yeah, so it's my mission. Yeah, I think I understand Nassim Taleb quite well, and would like to distribute this and let other people benefit also from this. Yeah, that's also why I give this session. Next week we will have this conference on agility, resilience, and anti-fragility, and it is organized by the Friends of Anti-Fragility and also by the Anti-Fragility Institute, yeah, which is managed by my friend Sai. Yeah, you see him here in the picture. Unfortunately, yeah, he's sick a little bit today. He could not appear together with me. And yeah, I would recommend this. Take a look and see if it helps you. I would be happy to see you, meet you somewhere later here in these activities. Now Nicola wrote something to irritate or stress systems can be very worse. Exactly. Yeah, you got the message. Yeah. Not all stress is valuable. Yeah. But if you know this concept, stress that will stress a system in the right way. Yeah. Think about your muscle training. Load it up a little bit beyond the maximum limit. Yeah, so that you will have the muscle ache later. Yeah, you know this probably when you use a muscle that you didn't use for a long time, it will ache for a few days. Yeah, but then it will become stronger, and the next time it will not ache again if you load it in the same way. If you load it a little bit more again, then it is worth it the trouble because you will benefit much more after the next time. Yeah, this is the advertisement for the conference next week. You will find it all over the LinkedIn. I can say, yeah, Sai and I, we tried hard to spread it that everybody can can find it. Yeah, in the presentation, I put together some more material, at least twice as much material. You can go through it in the time when you have time, and you can also watch the videos. Then it's all linked, and then I think you can get the full benefit. Okay, so now the time is over. Very adventurous for me, and thank you for your persistence and interest. And I wish you good progress with becoming more and more anti-fragile. And yeah, there was this slide. It's covered a little bit by my control side. A country's assets reside in the tinkerers, and the hobbyists and the risk takers. Let's go for it. Bye bye. Have a good weekend and hope to see you sooner or later, or maybe in the conference next week. Bye bye.